Hi, I'm Donna Hutchison, a museum educator at Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, and this is Bridging the Gap, a series of digital art engagements. In this segment, we'll be looking at Samuel Beals Thomas with his wife, Sarah Kellogg Thomas, and their two daughters, Abigail and Pauline, by the artist Edward Dalton Marchant. Before we begin discussing this work of art, let's take a moment to look closely at it. Begin by letting your eyes wander around the painting, noticing the details that will tell you about these four people. Please pause the video while you look. Now would also be a good time to gather paper and pencil for an activity called Looking 5x2 that we will begin soon. You're back. Great. You probably noticed quite a bit about this family, especially how they are dressed and where they are gathered. Let's pause the video again and take a moment to write down 5 details that caught your eye the first time you looked. Now let's talk about Samuel Beals Thomas and his family. The Thomas family lived in Worcester, Massachusetts in 1830 when Mr. Thomas asked Edward Dalton Marchant to paint them. He owned the best restaurant and hotel in town, the Exchange Coffee House and Hotel, which was right across the street from the county courthouse. So it attracted all kinds of people to the restaurant for meals and conversation. At the time, Worcester was changing from a farming town to a center of manufacturing, with textile, clothing, and shoe factories bringing in businessmen from all over Massachusetts to stay and do business at the hotel and restaurant. The Thomas family was well known in Worcester, and we see them all wearing their finest clothes and jewelry as they pose in the family parlor. Now let's look at your list. What 5 things did you notice? I bet you noticed the women's hairdos. Sausage curls, yes, they were really called that, were very fashionable in the 1830s. All the coolest girls were wearing them. So these hairdos tell us the women were well-to-do. Another clue to their wealth is all the gold jewelry. The ladies all wear matching earrings and rings on their fingers. Mrs. Thomas wears a gold portrait locket and chain tucked into her shawl. The daughters wear matching necklaces, and all are made of gold and rubies. Mr. Thomas wears some jewelry too. See the pin on his ruffled shirt, the gold watch and chain, and the ring of gold accessories at his waist? He even shows us his gold-headed cane. Now let's go back to your list. Pause the video and do a quick reread of the first details you noted. Now that we've talked and you've looked again, let's add 5 more details to your list that you didn't see before, and then come back to me on the video. They sit in a room filled with fine furniture and art. Did you see the 3 fancy carved stone vases on the fireplace mantel? They show off the family's prosperity, just like the velvet and wooden furniture and the pictures on the wall behind them. One picture shows us George Washington and his family. So we know the Thomas family was not only prosperous, they were patriotic too. Other objects tell us more about the daughters. Abigail holds an unfolded letter, and a book lies on the sewing table next to Pauline, so we know both girls can read and write. Near Pauline's left arm lie a spool of thread, 2 small pairs of scissors, and a thimble. These things tell us the girls can do fancy sewing, a skill all upper-class ladies needed in 1830 because it was considered an acceptable way to demonstrate one's creative expression and to develop a social circle outside their homes. All the details we've seen and talked about have shown you a lot about this proud, prosperous businessman and his family in a time of economic change in our country. To extend your observing and learning, ask someone in your family if there is a picture of your relatives or ancestors that you can analyze using our looking 5 times 2 method. You might be surprised at what you discover. Thank you for watching. This has been Bridging the Gap from Crystal Bridges.